discuss the TypeScript basics, and we started basic types like number. We discussed strings. We discussed boolean. We discussed type annotations. Type annotation means we will give colon number or colon string or colon boolean like that. But sometimes it will also take it like which is called type inference. Sir, if it is only taking it, why you need to give? It's not every time it can able to take it. Okay. The best example is tuple. Tuple it can't take directly. Okay. And we also discussed union. Union means one pipe symbol will be there, right? Like it represents union with this pipe symbol, sir. That means anytime the pipe symbol is there, it will go with either that or this. And we discussed arrays. We discussed tuples. We discussed we discussed arrays, tuples. We discussed enums. When you go for higher one, it's not like everything will use it in, but when you go for higher one, TypeScript discuss this all. Okay. Now, what more, sir? Is this all? Now we have more. Let's discuss more. Let's discuss the next type after this enums. Okay. Now we stopped at enums, sir. Now after enums. Now whatever we are going to discuss, these things were very very important in the TypeScripts, and they are like somewhat higher level. Okay. I hope you can able to get it. It's not a big deal, but still it's better to try it. Okay, you all are from Java or Python or .NET or something. So you must have been familiar with something called oops, right? Right. What is oop? Can anyone tell me? Good. I'm getting answers. Okay. Now, so basically, object-oriented programming. Only few people answered it. Very bad. Okay. So basically, object-oriented programming revolves around the objects. That means there will be functions, but who will create the functions? Like who will call the functions? Functions will be called by object. Without object, you can't call the functions. Especially the class methods. You will write everything inside the classes, but you can't call it because the functions were there. Okay, because it needs an object. Whatever inside the class, the methods we will call the functions which are in classes we call methods. So that will be called by an object. Object has to be created with a constructor. Those concepts has to be understood in depth. Okay. These concepts only we'll discuss in our classes also in depth. Okay. We'll start with the first one, inferences. Type inference. Now before discussing, let's discuss functions also. Functions or methods. What is the difference between a method and a function, sir? People usually think the method and functions are actually similar. What is the difference between method and a function? Usually, methods methods are usually bind in a class. In a class, okay, in a class or for a particular object. Okay, this belongs to a particular class. Okay, method usually binds in the class, or usually it is it can be what it can be applicable to one object. So object owns it, class have it. But functions are like the free words, like anywhere anything you can write can be called as a function, which it can do some work and can return some work. Now, how do you write a function inside the TypeScript, sir? Now, if you want to write a function inside the TypeScript, how you write it, the normal function, it is similar exactly, but only one simple touch will be there. The only one simple extra one is, okay, this is what we started, sir. Now let me go to CD project. Just in a case, I'm just here. We are having this all tsconfig. Don't need to edit anything tsconfig. We'll see it later. No worries, it will work. Now, now let's do more with this, sir. After this, we also discuss type assertions here. That means we will write something as, okay, so that in times if the uh, TypeScript is thinking it is some other element, but we are sure that this is particularly this element only, then we will go with as. Now next one, sir. Next one, functions. Now, usually how we go with functions are, whenever we go for functions, functions will have two things, sir. One is function parameters. What it can take it in parameters is important, and at the same time, what it will return, that is also important. Okay, so basically, same same as JavaScript, but add static typing to parameters and return type. For the people who are familiar with the Java language, will understand it in a more easy way, because in Java also you will write for every function return type, and its parameters also will have some particular functions every time. Same way here also, now we are going to define its data types for the parameters and the return type. For example, let me write it in JavaScript. If I write it in a JavaScript something, if function sum like a comma b, then here you will write it something return a plus b. This is a basic function, isn't it? Okay, now this is a basic function, sir. If you did not give any data type, sir, if you did not give any data type, by default your TypeScript will think it as any. See, parameter is having any type, but you should tell it. See, now if you write it here, sum 2 comma 3, it's okay. And if I write sum Raj comma Prasad also, okay. If I write, interestingly, if I write sum 2 comma Prasad, this is also okay. This is actually wrong, but still it is okay, because by default, did I mention anything? This is how you write it in JavaScript. Okay, but it's not right here. So what you have to write is, you have to mention it every time when you are giving it a column. A should be number, sir, and B also should be number, sir. Okay. Now A is number, B is number. So can anyone tell me what is the return type here? What is the return type here? Can anyone tell me? Number. Very good. So here, here also number. So you have to define the return type after the parameters, sir. See, after the parameters, you have to type. That means for this whole, I'm getting return type this. Okay. Now, here only one point is there, which is very very important. Now, okay. Now these all are wrong because that is there. Now you tell me, instead of this, I'm just writing console.log a plus b. See, I'm not returning anything. Did I return anything, sir? No. Did I write return anything? No, not at all. When I'm not returning anything, when I'm not returning anything, can you tell me what data type can be written? Java people can guess it easily. What is be return type when you are not returning anything in the function? Void. Someone mentioned it. It's perfect. Void, sir. So void is a return type when you are not returning anything, sir. Okay. Here you can use void also. Any doubts here? The basic function. Any doubts, ma? Here any doubts are till now? No. Now, sir, let me write one more function. Function. Uh, what you can write? Function greet. Function greet. You can write name. You can take greet, greet, and I can say it here. Return here. Dollar greeting, greeting, comma, dollar name. Return. Now, sir, you may understood these things. One important point here. You have this is template literal, sir. I think you know what is meant by template literal. It will print the value. Now it will print a greeting value. It will print name value. Here, let me give greet Raj, comma hello. Can anyone tell me what will be the output? What it will return? Can anyone tell me what it can return? Okay, it will return hello Raj. Okay, because greeting is first. Okay, that is perfect. That is perfect. Now, you tell me greet only Raj I give. Second time only Raj I give. What it can take? It will give error, sir, because it is expecting two arguments, but I give one argument. But I have to make it like this. Sir, I want to make some optional arguments. That means whether people will give it or not, my program should work. If people is not giving it, it should take some default value. Are you getting my point, ma? If at the calling stage, if people are not giving one argument, that argument should be taken by default. What to do for that? You have to go here and I will write it here. First, I did not define the data types now. Let me define both the data types. Here string, here also string. Now here greeting string, which is equals to hi. So what is this mean? See, second time is it saying any error, sir? No. Why it is not saying any error, sir? Now its return type is also. If I let me instead of return type, I will say it like console dot log. If it is return type, also no error will come. Okay. Just I have to store it in another variable and I have to print that instead of doing I'm directly printing it. That is the only problem. Else there is no other thing. Now see here. Now if I run this npx, what is happening? Npx psc index dot ts. Now if I write it here, now it's just over. Now let me go automatically here. It will take it, sir. See here, this one will take it. This one also take these things. Now here you can't see anything. Now if I go here and if I check it, go live, in the console it will show the output. Console. Here you can see what is cannot set properties to null values. What line number 42. Number 42. Why it is null? Because there is no input element like that anyway. Second time, see, second time what I got? Hi Raj. What is this? Hi Raj. This is interesting, no? See, interesting point is this, sir. This, if sometimes if we want optional parameters, that means these optional parameters are default parameters. That means what it will do, sir. If you gave any value, for example, first time I gave hello. So here output will be first greeting will be hello and Raj will be name. So here output will be hello Raj, hello comma Raj, because here I put comma. Now second time only name I give. So I did not give this one. So it should say error, but instead of it, you gave some default value which is equals to something. That means what it will think? It will think, okay, in this case, if this guy missed this, go for the hello hi only. So hi. Because that is a default value. Hi. Any doubts, ma? Any doubts? Do you guys understand this? Optional parameters. Then next, third one, sir. Third one. What if I got rest parameters? Rest means you will have for the people who knows concept of rest and spread, they will understand it. Anyway, I will do it. Now imagine I have a function sum where I'm taking it dot numbers, comma one number. Now, okay, now I can write it as return numbers dot reduce reduce total comma sum. Here you can write it total plus Okay, sum is a method name. Let's take num, no worries. Total plus num, comma 0. What if I directly take only this? For the people who are not familiar with this, what is this dot 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 number, sir? Anyone who knows can text me in the comments. What is this dot 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 number? What is this dot 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 number, sir? People maybe are from their programming languages. They are thinking where arg. This is not where arg or something. Okay, uh, and whoever said it spread operator, they are also wrong. This is rest operator. The difference is so simple. When you are taking the dot 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 and you are giving output with a set of values, it is called spread operator. When you are just writing dot dot dot, it is called rest operator. Okay, how this rest operator works, sir? For example, here, imagine if I'm calling 2 comma 3, or I have to call some 2 comma 3 comma 5, or I have to call some 2 comma 3 comma 5 comma 7 comma 9. So if it is normal JavaScript, sir, what you will hear already sum is there. Okay, that's why it is saying it errors. Now, if I'm writing something like this, sir, what it will say is, for this one you have to write one logic sum of with 2 parameters. For this one you have to write one logic sum with 3 parameters. This one sum with 5 parameters you have to write. But JavaScript will tell you one thing which is called dot dot dot, which is rest operator. That means any value you take, how many parameters you take, will be taken here in the numbers as an array. As a array. So it will be numbers array, sir, by default. By default it will be number array. If you want, you can print it. Okay. That is first thing you have to know. Why it is called rest parameter only, sir? For example, here, if I give num comma numbers, if I give it something like this, num, which is number, then what it will be? Number value will be 2 first time, and numbers array will have it only 3. Second time, number value will be 2, 3, 5 will be inside the numbers array. Then third time, 2 will be number and 3, 5, 7 will be inside the numbers array. So that represents the rest of the series always. So that's why, and it will be always last only in parameters. If 2 or more than parameters are there, it will be last only because it's a rest. That is the basic thing about rest parameters, sir. Just have a read about it. Then after this, I got all the values in numbers array, na? Then how to add all the values in the numbers, sir? How to add values in the array? How to add values in the array, sir? Everyone, how to add values in the array? Reduce method, sir. Do you guys know what is map filter reduce, sir? Let me know. Do you guys know it or don't know? Array methods. Okay, for the people who don't know, let me have a quick recap, sir. Let me take one array. See, I'm taking one array. This is JavaScript, sir. Now ARR value is this. Okay. Now, okay, already we have it in another one. So let ARR2. Now ARR2 is one array, sir. Okay. Now, first thing, to transfers into an array, that means to check it each and every value into the array, you will use something called for each. What is that? For each. Array dot for each. If I write inside this, I will write one arrow functions num, and here inside this arrow function I will write console dot log num. Then what it will print? This first it will go to ARR2, sir. and it will take each and every value. First value will be taken, 2 will be taken as num, and then this is an arrow function. Okay, you can write normal function also. I wrote arrow function because simplicity. So then console.log, here it will print 2, then it will print 3, then it will print 4, then it will print 5, then it will print 6. Now if I write it here, I will get this. To go into each and everything in the array, you will use something called this thing, sir. But what if I want to do sum? That is so simple, sir. Let me take initially some value. Now if I write it here, let here. Now if I see ARR2, now now let me tell you what is differences between map and this. Now ARR2 is this arena. If I write ARR dot per each, then here if I write return num plus 1, num plus 1, return num plus 1, then what it will do? Okay, you can put it something called, okay, if it is one line in arrow functions, you don't need to write return only. Arrow functions by default, if it is one line, don't need to write return. Now if I check it ARR2, is it updated, sir? Is ARR2 is updated, sir? No. Every value is not adding 1. See, ARR2 is as it is same. But if I do the same thing, sir, same thing, no return. If I write with map, now what will happen? Map will give you one values which is updated, each one adding 1. Now ARR2, now actually, see, ARR2 is same only. Is ARR2 is updated? No. But map will return a new value. Map will return a new array. Map will return a new array, sir, which will have each and every value adding 111. But for each will not do. For each basically we will use it like, for each is like basic for loop. It will go into each and every element. It will check each and every element. But will it return anything, sir? Whatever you want to return only it will return. But map is not like that. Map will return an array. Whatever the operations you do, it will return one array. Same thing filter will do, same thing reduce also will do. Okay, it will return something. Now same thing, sir, if I have to write something like filter, ARR dot filter. Now if I write here also num, that means each and every value will be taken as num. And here if I write num modulus, okay, sorry, modulo means this symbol. There is a symbol. Oh, sorry. Num modulus 2 equals to 0, sir. What is this num modulus 2 equals to 0 means? Num modulus 2 equals to 0 means that is a even number. So if I write this condition, automatically it will make our array, it will filter our array and make it as 2, 4, 6. See, only even values are coming. Okay, that is how filter will do, sir. Same thing, reduce will be there. What is mean by reducer? Reducer is actually used for adding the values. If I give ARR2 dot reduce dot reducer, basically what this reducer will do, reduce will do one callback function here, and it will take one basic value. Basic value will be 0. Let's take a basic value is 0, sir. Now here in the callback function, it will take two things. One is total. This total value will be 0 initially. See, and comma, one is num. Num is actually each and every value in the array 2. In the array 2, each and every value will be num. Total value will be initially 0. Now here inside this I am just writing it total plus num. Then what will happen, sir? It will take ARR2 and then it will add each and every value. It will add each and every value. Total equals to total plus num. then it will add each and every value to the total. So initially 0 plus 0 plus 2, 2, then 2 plus 3, 5, then 5 plus 4, 9, then 9 plus 5, 14, 14 plus 6, which is 20, like that it will. Any doubts, ma? The same thing which I did also here. See, I just write total, which is total plus num. When you write it, automatically it will return the sum of that particular elements, because I know numbers is an array. Okay. Usually reduce is the method we will use it when it comes to cart logic. Okay. Every time whenever someone click on add to cart, it should add the values, right? Recursively. That concept we will use it something called reduce only. Any doubts, ma? Okay. Now rest parameters is okay. Now what about the next one? Next one we can even write it something like function expressions or arrow functions. Okay. Usually arrow functions or function expressions, you will write something like this: function expressions or arrow functions. These are the concepts which are in JavaScript, sir. So that's why I'm suggesting it. Without JavaScript, you can't learn this all. TypeScript is basically JavaScript, and Angular you will use more JavaScript. Now if I write, take it like const, let's go with multiply. Const multiply equals to, okay, let me take one function here. In here, I can write it A must be number, comma B must be number. If both are numbers, the return type also number, because I'm just multiplying it. Now if I write it here, return A asterisk B. See, now multiply is actually a function. Multiply is actually a function. If you write something like this, sir, you can work it out. This is an anonymous function because it's not having a name. Or, sir, I don't want to write this. You can write something like this also, which will work. This is an arrow function. This is called, right? If it is one line, you don't need to write this return also. But return, if it is arrow function, you don't need to write the return also. Directly, you can write something like this. By default, arrow functions will take return, sir. Any doubts, ma? I hope everyone is clear, sir, till now. Good. Good. Sir, same thing, you can have something called function overloading concept also, sir. Because now function overloading will be handled easily. In Java, function overloading is a big threat because types are not there. But here in JavaScript, the function overloading is a big threat because people, we don't have it any types in JavaScript. But here you can avoid it based on the return type and based on the parameter type. It will check it. Okay. Now, okay. One more time, sir. Let's have a quick revision. What we discussed till now, sir. First, functions are same like your JavaScript only, but we will add some kind of static data typing to parameters, sir. Okay, and return types. How you will write function, sir? You will write function sum. Inside the sum, you will write a number and b number and then void. What does it mean? It means it is taking sum is a method. It means sum is a method, sir. The sum method is taking two parameters a and b, and a is of a number data type and b is of a number data type, and it is returning. This function is returning. This function is returning a data type void. That means this function is not returning anything. Function is not returning anything. That is called void, sir. Okay. Console.log a plus b. And you will write some 2 comma 3, then it will work. If I write some 2 comma Raj, it will not work. Why? Because here I said b is a number, sir. Same thing, sir. Do I have to give every time all the parameters? No, you can make parameters optional by giving some default value. When you give some default value to it, it will become automatically, automatically it will become as optional, sir. Now, you can even take the rest parameters, and rest parameters by default you should take it as arrays. And arrow functions, you can write function expressions and arrow functions also using this particular logic, sir. One more thing, let me give you one logic and you tell me what is its data type. Now if I write function uh, sub a number, b number. Now I'm not giving a return type. You guys tell me, throw error. I'm just throwing some error. Okay, now throw some error, whatever it is. Now, can you tell me here, comma? Sorry. Can you tell me what can its be return type? If I'm throwing some errors, sir, can anyone tell me what its can return type can be for a sub function? Sir, this is not void, sir. People will think it is void because it is not returning anything. But there is one problem. It is returning something called throw. Okay, but we can't exactly tell what is its data type of error. Okay, then we will write something called here never. Never is a data type, sir. Never is a data type. You will use that means this function should not return anything. This function, if forget about whether it's returning or not. Actually, this function should not get written out. Never it should return. Okay. So why? Because it is throwing some errors, sir. Because of the errors. Okay. Now that is you should remember the error and the basic things. Okay. Clear, ma? I didn't understand Shiva Prasad your logic. If I ever want to use break, you will use. See, however you use JavaScript, sir, everything you use it in TypeScript also. Exactly, without any particular differences, you can use exactly the things which you used in JavaScript. You can use it in TypeScript also. But only the thing is, TypeScript will add data types to it. That's it. Okay. From starting onwards, that is only we are doing it. So, next one, sir. Next one, these things were kind of important, sir, which is called in interfaces. 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 What are interfaces, sir? Interfaces define. Interfaces define the structure. Interfaces define the structure of. Usually, we will use it for objects, sir. Of objects. Till now, we discuss arrays and all. What if for objects? For objects, usually we will go with interfaces. Define the structure of objects. Okay, and primarily used for, mainly we will use it for, primarily used for describing the, primarily we will use it for describing the shape of, describing the shape of data structures. What I'm meaning it is, I will tell you now. Usually we will use it for data oriented, object oriented programming. We will use this because we are starting at oops concept basically now. Okay, now first basic interface, how it will work, how the basic interface works. Now interface, you have to write something called interface. Let me write something interface car. I am only creating something interfaces, sir. Interfaces are actually some structure. So any data type which is a car can have the similar things. For example, it will have a model. which is a string. It will have something called year, which is a number. It will have something called you know uh, manufacturer, manufacturer, which is also string. Okay. Now, see, sir. Now let's create one value. I'm creating const my car, my car. So my car is actually a car data type. Okay. So who defined this car data type? We defined. We can define the new data types using this interfaces or type aliases. Now, what is this interface is? It will define some custom structure, our own structure. Now, see, model. Let me take one model like uh, a model. You can have model Camry, whatever it is, uh, or manufacturer, 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 Toyota, and here I'm just giving them random value 2022. So now, see, sir, how do you know that whether these things are right or not? Instead of model Camry, if I give model 123 also, it will say right on, right? How do you exactly define this thing? So how do you exactly tell like this object should be of this format only? You will write it here, car. Usually whenever you define interfaces, your interfaces starts with capital letter, basically. Okay? Because interfaces define the data types. This is actually very, very important. So even in your Java, you will get these interfaces. .NET, you will get these interfaces. When you are defining it object-oriented programming. Usually JavaScript don't have interfaces concept, sir. JavaScript don't know anything about interfaces. TypeScript knows. Okay, it is a complete object-oriented program. Now see, any doubts here? In the basic interfaces, any doubts, ma? No. Let's create one interface, sir. You create. You try to tell me. I'm creating employee. Employee. Okay. Now, sir, employee will have a name. Employee will have salary. Employee will have phone number or sir ID. Okay, whatever. Employee ID. Now you guys tell me what is the data types of each one? Very good. Name can be a string, sir, and salary can be a number, sir, and ID can be a number, sir. So automatically, now if I write some value, const employee one equals to, I'm defining employee one. His name is Raj, and his salary is 20,000, and his ID is 1526. Sir, it is default, sir. If I give it here salary, also Raj, it doesn't say any error because we don't know any data type. Employee data type, no one knows it. So here, employee one, I am defining it. It should be of a type employee. Now it will say salary is error because salary I'm expecting number. You should give it as a number only. Usually, when you go for object-oriented programming, to make your objects of certain format, you will define your own data types, and that is called interfaces. Any doubts, ma? Any doubts, ma? Here? Here, any doubts? Is it clear, ma, till now? Okay. Now let's go somewhat more. Okay. Now here phone number, phone number is also number. Sir, what is this? When you are giving it employee list, when I'm writing employee list, some employees may have phone numbers, some employees may not have the phone number. It's not mandatory, right? Having the phone. Some employees don't want to give their phone number, but still it will say error. Why? Because see, property phone number is missing in the type. You should give it. If you give it here, you should give it here. It's not order is not important, but you should give it. What if I want to make this phone number as optional? What if I want to make this phone number as optional, sir? Now here I will write it something like question. If you write this question mark, what it is means, it means this is optional, sir. Okay, this is optional. You don't need to write it. Okay, sir. Employee is like a custom data type which we created. Okay. Now, using employee data, we create different data, different values. We will say this is of employee data type. Now, you can go with this. For example, where we can use if we are using, if we are defining one class. Inside this class, we need to have objects which are employee. For example, see you are getting employee data, sir, in your application. Okay, then you have to say it like name value should be string for employee and a salary value should be number. In those cases, you will define. If it is e-commerce website, you are getting at the end transaction data. That means customer name, customer ID, customer what he ordered, how much he paid, everything you need to send. You will send it through object only from one place to another place. If you know JavaScript, you will understand it, how you will send it. You will send it as a JSON and all. But when you are sending it, sir, when you are sending it, it will check it. What data type is it? It should check. But JavaScript will not check it. So that is why here we check it something like this. Now it will check it, right? Whether it is matching this particular data type or not. Any doubts, ma? If I want any element to optional, I will put it something called question mark. If you put something as question mark, sir, automatically it will become optional. Okay. Now, now, sir, this is employee. Now let me write interface manager. Okay. Now this manager is having it. Manager is also employee, isn't it? Right? Manager is also employee, sir. Only one thing he's having. Uh, Manager is having more of what he can have more. Hmm. Okay. Let's have he is having something responsibility. Okay. Or team. Manager is having a team. Not the employee have. Okay. Team. Let's take team of 5. So team I'm taking it as number. Now, sir, if I declare something const M1, M1 is one guy who is a manager. Okay, so usually we will go with a node convention of capital, but if you go with small also it doesn't matter. Usually classes and interfaces will be capital. Now if I declare it, now here I will write team equal team 5. Now sir, did the manager not have name? Yes, sir. Manager should have name, manager should have salary, manager should have ID, manager should have phone number, isn't it? Now, how do you write this all? You will write it again? No. You can extend it. If you know basic concept of inheritance, there is one concept called inheritance. And inheritance means it will acquire the properties from one class to another class. Same way, one interface can acquire the properties of another interface by using something called implements. By write implements employee. So then manager one manager, oh sorry, not implements, extends. extends. If I write interface manager extends employee, then manager value will extend the employee value also. Now if I write here manager, now it is error because it is expecting, okay, name, salary, ID. Manager, why name, salary, ID? Here I did not give name, salary, ID because it is taking it these values also. So you should take it. Name, something, empty. Now salary, 0, ID, 0. Simple. Any doubts, ma? Any doubts, ma? No, no, no. Usually, understand why manager salary is 0. You can write it whatever the value you wish. Okay, this is just a value. Now, sir, one interface, one interface, take the another interface inheritance using extensor. Okay, understand it. One class will take another class also extends only, but class will take interface using implements. Now let me write it object-oriented programming here so that you will understand more. Class with interface. Real time also you will understand it now. Interface, how you will use it. Now this is the main real time example, sir. Now, for example, interface, one shape, interface shape. Inside this, I'm giving area. This is a method, sir, isn't it? This method will return something called number. Spelling mistake. This method will return. So you can define methods also, you can define values also, whatever it is. Now I'm just writing it class circle, class circle. Now inside this class circle, radius. Now we don't know what is radius, sir, because radius is actually belongs to constructor, because constructor is the main one. Now you will write this dot radius. Always in the class it is mandatory for something called this, sir. Yeah. Spelling is right only now. Property radius. Why it is not existed? This dot radius. Public. Okay, now it will work. So it will have access specifiers also. I will tell you what are access specifiers. Public, private, protected will be there. Now, when I give it constructor public, automatically it will take this. Now see what it will do, sir. It will ask whenever I call it. So how it will work? You know, basic object-oriented programming, sir. For the people who don't know, I'm just giving it. If I write const by circle equals to new circle, same like your Java. Here I'm giving 5. If I write it here, console.log my circle. Inside is my circle object I'm calling area. Now can anyone tell me what is the answer here? Can anyone tell me what is the answer here? Can anyone tell me what is the answer here, sir? So here, yes, very good. Pi into okay, somewhere calculated also. Very good. It's like 25 pi. Okay, pi r square, which is 25 pi, which is perfectly whatever you said. Now, sir, if I give it instead of 5, if I give it here Raj, will it say any error? it will say error because here I have number, right or not? Now here 5 only it should take it. Okay, happy. Now this method is returning something, na? This method is returning something, right? Now what if area I just returned string Raj? Will it say any errors or no? See, will it say any errors or no? Return Raj. Area method can return anything, na? Right? Because I did not specify any return type here. So that is why what if I take this interface here. If I write here interface implements shape. Now it will say error. Area is returning a string. You should return number because in the interface area is number. Okay. Are you getting my point, sir? So you will write math.py asterisk this dot radius asterisk dot radius. Okay. Now again, it is so simple, sir. Now interface shape, I just defined one value which is area of a type number. You can write whatever you like it, sir. Now here something called name. Name must be a string. Now here it is not having that name. Okay. Now you can write it the name value inside it. Inside it, if I write any name value, now name which is equals to Raj. Now it will take it because here that is of a shape here. Now what if instead of Raj, if I take name value 23, now it will say error because name must be of a type. See, property name in the circle is not assignable to the same property in the base type of shape. So type number, who told it is a type string? Type number is not assignable to type string because this shape will tell. It is an interface. This interface I used inside the circle. Sir, when one interface is taking another interface values extends. When one circle, one class is taking another class thing extends. But when one class is taking interface value, you will put implements. Now see, who told name data type should be string? This shape did, and that shape I used it here. That is the main point you should remember. Okay. Yeah, that's it for the interfaces, sir. And you will have something called type aliases also. We will have a quick recap in tomorrow's class of these interfaces, and we'll discuss something called type alias. Okay, and we'll discuss more and more. Now today I discussed mainly about functions and the interfaces, sir. And one more thing, admin will share you the Google Drive link also. Today I will upload all the notes into the Google Drive. This whole programs whatever we did till now, and at the same time notes whatever we wrote it till now. The detailed notes I will send it in the uh, I will send it in the drive, sir. Okay. Online any doubts, ma?